Hello, my name is Dr. Dennis Lambrese, and I'll be leading our discussion this semester as we go through controversies and issues. And the purpose of this class is to help make you aware of some of the issues and challenges that are being faced, not only in the United States, but internationally as well. We started out reading a short story from Ursula Le Guin entitled The Ones Who Walk Away from Omelas. The reason for that is it creates an environment where people up until a certain age are oblivious to what others are doing to ensure their security and safety. And in the case of the short story, what we find out is a young child is put into a dungeon, and the health and safety and the happiness of the people above ground are dependent on that child remaining in the dungeon. And the question becomes, what happens when the youth, then you turn the age of reason, are faced with the fact that someone else is suffering so that they can have a blessed life, they can have an enjoyable life. After seeing this, the question is, what do you do? Do you go back above ground and enjoy your life and figure that's the other person's lot and just continue enjoying your life and don't think about them? Do you try to take the child out of that environment? But if you do, what's going to be the reaction of the people whose lives are negatively affected by that choice? And then who's going to look after the child in terms of feeding and clothing and indoctrinating them into society? And will you even be able to stay in that same society once you've changed the culture dramatically? The third alternative is to pick up and leave and let somebody else be concerned about the problem. Too oftentimes that's what we do, but in our sense, it's not so much walking away from it. We just choose to ignore it, or we hear about it and are not concerned. And the reason is oftentimes we're only concerned about those issues, those controversies that impact us directly. And we seldom think that our happiness is based on people doing menial jobs. Our happiness is based on people willing to work in slaughterhouses, spending their day dissecting chickens and pigs and cows so that we can have low-cost meat. We think about the children internationally working in child labor groups or working for low wage in sweatshops to make sure we have inexpensive property to own and clothes to wear. So we don't oftentimes think about those things. We just know that we enjoy it and that's somebody else's concern. What we hope to do throughout the semester is make you aware of certain issues and challenges that are out there. And then you ask the question, what, if anything, should be done? And what responsibility, if any, do you have as citizens, now that you're aware of these challenges, to do something about it? The expectation is not that you're going to become big social activists and go out and change the world, although that is obviously your choice if you so decide. The real thing is to make you aware that these challenges do take place. They do impact the quality of life. And somebody is always paying for the things we enjoy in life. And does that mean we need to change our behavior? That's an individual choice. All that's happening here is try to make you aware. So reading Ursula Le Guin is to point out that there's always somebody suffering for the quality of life of others. And what responsibility, if any, do we have? With that framework, with that background, that's what we'll be talking each week with the different issues and topics that you have involved in the reading assignment. And I'll be posting periodic discussion questions that you'll need to respond to in discussion form in order to move forward with the class. So this is just a bit of a background on what we did the first week, why we've got it set up that way. I will be posting additional weekly YouTube videos that talk a bit about each week's assignment and what challenges we're facing. And if you need to contact me, please do via email, or you have my office phone number. Leave a message. I'll get back with you as soon as I can. And if you want to do a Zoom meeting and have some face-to-face time, I'd be more than happy to set those up on an individual basis that we can find, again, a mutual agreeable time to do those sessions. And I also will probably, starting this week, starting Monday, which is Labor Day, sending you an email setting up at least a Zoom meeting at random times so that if you can join in, you're more than welcome to. Again, there's no requirement. So check the YouTube videos on a weekly basis that will be posted. I will also send out a notice reminding you that a new YouTube video has been posted on the channel to follow those. And if they prompt more questions, please don't hesitate to get a hold of me. You should all have the textbook because you cannot do the research without the textbook. You'll also notice that there are 3 individual research questions that you'll need to do your own research. The advantage of using the textbook is both sides, data, articles are presented, which makes it much easier for you to look at the issue. You are not limited to the issues that are in the text. You're not limited to the data that's in the text. You'll feel free if you find other sources to use them. But remember, as in all college work, you have to cite resources, and they will be posted in our resources on the college webpage, WolfDen, and under resources for our class, some guidelines on citation. I have no preference on which citation format you use. You can use one with which you're most familiar, as long as you use some citation format to document where your sources come from in the essays that you write. The independent projects you'll be doing have to do with the Second Amendment and the right to bear arms, research on abortion and abortion rights. And that gets to be incredibly important as we think about things, especially in light of the recent Supreme Court decision overturning Roe v. Wade. Is it a policy issue, and is it a privacy issue? Is it simply decided to the states, or as some suggest, is it simply based on a religious bias? In which case, what role does that have? In all these answers and all these questions, there are really no right or wrong answers, because we're all motivated by our own values, by our own experiences. And so in many cases, they're not necessarily a right answer. In all of the assignments you're given, I'm asking for your perspective, your opinion. And it's important to keep in mind that I do not grade based on your opinion, that your opinion and you're completely entitled to it. I, however, in my role as an instructor, will challenge and question your opinions, not because they're wrong, but because that's my job, is to get you to think about why you think the way you do, and why do you perceive things a certain way. And after hearing my critique, you like it the way you believe, that's perfectly fine. If you think maybe I need to reevaluate it, you do, and then again, continue to like the way your belief and your opinions, that's perfectly all right. And if you decide you may want to think about it and modify or change them, that's all right as well. But again, it's not the intent of this class to change anybody's opinion. It's to challenge the basis on which they have that opinion and make sure they're using good, adequate data resources, independent actions that you may have seen or been part of to help form a defensible opinion, and that's the challenge. So again, check in each week. I'll be again sending out email reminders, and we'll talk a bit each week about what the assignment is and what the expectations are. So hope you enjoy your weekend. If you have any questions, by all means, as I've said, contact me via email, and I'll be glad to answer questions as I receive them, or we'll be able to set up a Zoom meeting to move forward to make sure you're comfortable with the class. Again, hope these recordings and on the channel get you useful, and we look forward to working with you throughout the semester. Thank you very much and have a great day.